Today, we're going to talk about the maestro of Fluminense, Paulo Henrique Ganso, the star of today. Do you enjoy learning about the luxurious lives of the world's top football players? Then, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Let's go! He started playing futsal when he was very young, at Luzu, from the ages of 7 to 15. After that, he decided to switch from indoor courts to outdoor fields and began playing in the youth teams of Paysandu. The big turning point in his life happened in 2005 when he ended up at Santos. Giovanni, a very famous player from Santos, brought Paulo Henrique to the club for 900,000 reais. That's when his story started to get serious. By 2008, he was already seen as one of Brazil's greatest football prospects. He wore the number 10 shirt for Santos in the Copa São Paulo de Futebol Júnior. Despite his good performance, the team didn't do as well as expected and was eliminated in the quarterfinals by Internacional after a penalty shootout. He played excellently, scoring 2 goals, and even the Italian newspaper La Gazzetta dello Sport took notice of him, calling him one of the stars of that tournament. In January, he renewed his contract with Santos for 5 more years and was promoted to the professional team. He made his debut on February 17th against Rio Preto in the Campeonato Paulista. However, that year, Santos was not in good form, and it affected his performance. In 4 matches, he didn't score any goals or stand out much. In the Brazilian Championship, things didn't get any easier. The team was battling relegation, and Paulo Henrique had few chances to showcase his talent. He only played in 3 matches and didn't score any goals. Paulo Henrique Ganso truly began to shine at Santos during the Campeonato Paulista. He waited for his chance, and in a match against Guarani, under interim coach Serginho Chilapa, he scored his first goal. This goal was important as it helped Santos win 3-1. Shortly after, Ganso earned a starting spot because midfielder Lucio Flavio wasn't performing well, and he seized the opportunity. In 15 matches, he demonstrated his beautiful playing style and helped Santos become runners-up. In the Brasileiro, Ganso became a household name in Brazilian football. He played exceptionally well, and Santos decided to renew his contract with a huge buyout clause, 137 million reais. Even though the team finished in 12th place and he missed 2 penalties in a game against Flamengo, Ganso was nominated for the league's Best Newcomer award. He didn't win, but he had an excellent season. He scored 8 goals, provided 4 assists, and was the second best player at Santos in terms of interceptions. In 2010, he was on fire. Ganso won both the Campeonato Paulista and the Copa do Brasil, being named the best player in both competitions. He was playing so well that many people said he was even better than Neymar. His precise passes, incredible dribbling, and game vision caught everyone's attention. Alongside Neymar, he was extremely popular, and many people wanted both of them in the Brazilian national team for the World Cup. However, Coach Dunga decided not to call them up. Even so, Ganso made his debut for the national team soon after the World Cup, in a friendly match against the United States, where he wore the number 10 jersey and helped Brazil win 2-0. But not everything was perfect. In August, Ganso suffered a serious knee injury during a match against Grêmio. He tore a ligament and needed 6 months to recover. While he was injured, Santos fans showed a lot of support, starting a campaign with the hashtag #ForcaGanso on Twitter. That season, before the injury, he scored 13 goals and provided 15 assists. In 2011, he was out for almost 7 months because of the knee injury and had to undergo surgery. Then, on March 12th, he returned to the field for Santos against Botafogo in the Campeonato Paulista. And you know what happened? Even after such a long time off, Ganso showed he was still a star. He assisted in the first goal and scored the second, securing Santos' 2-1 victory. The team was so strong that year that they won the Paulisto again, beating Corinthians in the final. Unfortunately, Ganso got injured again in the first leg against Corinthians. It wasn't as serious, but it still caused some trouble. In the Copa Libertadores, Ganso made his debut in a match against Colorado from Chile. Santos even started well with a fantastic free kick goal from Milano early on, but they ended up losing 3-2. Ganso played nearly the entire match, but after that injury against Corinthians, he missed a large part of the campaign. He only returned on June 22nd, right in the final against Penarol from Uruguay. Despite not being 100% fit after the long break, he was involved in the play that led to Neymar's goal, which helped Santos win 2-1 and claim the Libertadores title after 48 years. It was historic. Next came the Club World Cup. In the first match, Santos beat Kashiwa Reysol 3-1, and Ganso made a perfect pass to Neymar, who scored the opening goal. But in the final against Barcelona, things didn't go well. The whole team played poorly and ended up losing 4-0. In 2012, in the Campeonato Paulista, he played 15 times and scored 5 goals, including one in the final against Guarani, helping Santos win their 3rd title in a row. However, injuries started to interfere again, and the fans began losing patience with him. In the Brazilian national team, he also lost his place. That year, he was called up to the Olympic team, but spent most of the time on the bench, watching Oscar, another talented midfielder, shine in the number 10 jersey. To make matters worse, another injury cropped up. Ganso spent most of the tournament injured, and Brazil ended up losing the final. After that, he went a long time without being called up to the national team. In September 2012, Sao Paulo finally announced the arrival of Ganso. It was a long negotiation, but the club paid 10 million euros to take him from Santos. When he arrived, he was given the number 8 shirt, as the number 10 was already owned by Jadson. His debut took place in November at Morumbi with a packed stadium. Over 62,000 people in attendance. At the beginning of 2013, everything seemed perfect. Ganso was playing in his favorite position, and Jadson was moved to a different role. He scored his first goal for the club in January, in a match against Atletico Sorocaba, and soon after, he scored his second against Ituano. In April, during the Libertadores, he had a standout performance against Atletico Mineiro, helping Sao Paulo advance to the round of 16. But then things started to go wrong. He even missed an important penalty against Corinthians, and Sao Paulo was eliminated from the Libertadores. To make matters worse, coach Ney Franco left, and the new manager, Paulo Autuori, couldn't improve the situation. Ganso, who had dreamed of playing in the Confederations Cup, was left off the list by coach Felipao. At the end of 2013, Jadson left the club, and the number 10 shirt finally went to Ganso. He promised to honor it and returned to playing well, providing several assists. Coach Muricy Ramalho even praised him, saying, "Now we have a real number 10. In 2014, he reached 100 games for Sao Paulo, a significant milestone. By 2016, under coach Edgardo Bauza, Ganso began to improve even further. He was called up again to the Brazilian national team, played in the Copa America Centenario, and was one of the team's standout players in the Libertadores. Unfortunately, an injury in a match against Fluminense kept him out for the remainder of the competition. In the end, Sao Paulo was eliminated, but Ganso realized his dream of playing in Europe when he was sold to Sevilla. On July 16, 2016, Sao Paulo and Sevilla announced that Ganso would join the Spanish team. By August 14th, he was already on the field in the Super Cup of Spain, playing against the powerful Barcelona. Despite a 2-0 defeat, it was just the beginning of his journey at Sevilla. Shortly after, in La Liga, Ganso came on as a substitute in a match against Alaves and shone with a backheel assist that helped Sevilla win 2-1. But he didn't stop there. In the Copa del Rey, Ganso scored his first goal for the club in a 9-1 thrashing of Formentera. He opened the scoring and also provided another magical backheel pass, which led to another goal for the team. After over 100 days without playing, he made a comeback on April 21st, 2017, in a match against Granada in La Liga. He scored 2 goals and secured Sevilla's 2-0 victory. Months passed, and Ganso was called up for another Europa League match against FK Zalgiris Vilnius. He started on the bench, but came on in the final minutes to help Sevilla win 1-0. On August 31st, 2018, he was loaned to Amiens, a French team, for 1 season. Soon after, on September 15th, he played his first match for Amiens in a game against Lille. And what a start! After just 7 minutes on the field, he made an incredible assist that helped Kurzawa score the first goal for Amiens in that match. Despite that, the team ended up losing 3-2. After a brief stint in French football, Paulo Enrique Ganso arrived at Fluminense on January 31st, 2019. He signed a 5-year contract, lasting until 2023. His debut was marked by a victory. Fluminense defeated Benga 2-0 in the Taça Rio of the Carioca Championship. Soon after, under coach Fernando Diniz, the team changed its style of play, focusing on ball control and possession. Ganso fit in perfectly and had a solid season, creating several goal-scoring opportunities. However, Fluminense did not perform well in the national competitions of 2019, which overshadowed his individual brilliance. Ganso's first goal for Fluminense was quite unusual. He scored with his belly against Ipiranga RS in the Copa do Brasil. This reminded fans of Renato Gaucho's famous belly goal in 1995. In 2021, Ganso nearly returned to Santos, but the fans there were not very supportive of the idea, so he stayed at Fluminense. Mid-year, he reached 100 games for the club with a victory over Cerro Porteño in the Libertadores. Unfortunately, he suffered a serious injury while attempting a bicycle kick, which caused him to miss a large part of the season. In 2022, Ganso had a tough start. Coach Abel Braga kept him on the bench, but the fans began demanding his inclusion in the starting lineup. The result? Ganso made a strong comeback and became a key player in Fluminense's victory in the Carioca Championship, his first title with the club. With Fernando Diniz returning as coach, Ganso shone in both the Brazilian Championship and the Copa do Brasil. He ended the year with 9 goals and 9 assists in 57 games, marking his best season with Fluminense so far. By 2023, Ganso continued to impress. He renewed his contract until 2025 and reached 200 games for the club. On November 4th, he experienced an unforgettable moment. He won the Copa Libertadores, being part of almost the entire campaign that led to the title. PH Ganso is a true football star with over a decade of success. He has earned a fortune playing football, not to mention the commercials and sponsorships he participates in. Even though he hasn't reached the level of his former teammate Neymar, Ganso earns no less than 500,000 Brazilian reals a month. Can you believe it? It's estimated that his fortune is around 150 million Brazilian reals. That's a lot of money, right? Off the pitch, Ganso leads a very calm life. He has been married to Giovanna Costi Goncalves since 2013. The couple is very private, rarely showcasing their lifestyle on social media. They have 2 children together, Henrico, who is 7, and Estela, who is 5. Additionally, Ganso is the father of Maria Vittoria, 10, from a relationship before his marriage. He enjoys all the good things money can buy and lives very comfortably. He currently resides in Rio de Janeiro, renting an incredible mansion in Barra de Tijuca. The house? It has it all. Huge living rooms, a wine cellar, and 4 perfect suites for him to rest after all the hard work. But Ganso truly has a special home. In 2022, his dream mansion was completed. And boy, he really dreamed big. The house is located in Alphaville, Sao Paulo, and spans no less than 730 square meters. It was entirely planned by architect Barbara Dunda, who transformed the place to reflect the Ganso family's personality. It features plenty of space, wood, light colors, lots of greenery, and such a beautiful design that it looks like something straight out of a magazine cover. I think I'll need an invitation from Ganso to spend a few days in this humble abode. He also has quite the taste when it comes to cars. He loves those tune-up models, you know? The more modifications, the better. When he played for Sevilla in Spain, he had an SUV from one of those fancy German brands. The dashboard looked like something out of a movie, with 2 giant screens, cruise control, and even a system that parks the car by itself. Perfect for someone who's bad at parking, right? And the engine? This car could go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in an incredible 3.4 seconds and reach speeds of up to 262 kilometers per hour. He just had to be careful not to get caught by speed cameras. However, his passion for tuned cars caused him some trouble. In 2019, he bought a bulletproof Mercedes SUV, fully customized, for 420,000 Brazilian reals. But then came the surprise. The car had a lot of issues. The previous owner was heavily in debt, and the car shouldn't have even been sold. It turned out to be a big mess. Did you enjoy getting to know more about the life of this football star? How about watching the video that's appearing on your screen? I'll be waiting for you there.